Alhan Islam.
Before we named it crisis, we called it morning. The sun arrived softly then, through kitchen windows, across rivers, on the backs of farmers returning home with stories folded into their hands. Children drew it in yellow crayon without fear. See, once, human beings looked towards the sky and saw God in the generosity of light. But now we look up and measure survival in degrees. What a terrifying thing. For the same sun that taught the earth how to bloom to become a warning. And maybe that is the tragedy of our generation. That we learned how to build taller buildings but forgot how to remain small before nature. We extracted and expanded and consumed. We built economies that could predict profit more accurately than rainfall, and now oceans are entering cities uninvited. Forests are becoming memories. Entire communities are learning new words for grief. Wildfire, drought, displacement, heat wave. The earth is speaking in storms now, and still some of us argue over whose responsibility it is to listen. Scientists arrive with data. Politicians arrive with negotiation. Businesses arrive with innovation, and activists arrive with urgency. Yet somewhere between graphs and governments, between profit and policy, humanity keeps forgetting that the atmosphere does not care about ideology. Flood water does not ask who we voted for. Drought does not recognize borders. Heat does not distinguish between the North and the South. And maybe that is why we are gathered here today, to remember each other, to remember that before we were nations, we were people drinking from the same rivers, to remember that before we were industries, we were bodies warmed by the same sun, that before we became divided by languages, religion, economics, or geography, we were simply human beings doing the best that we can to live long enough to leave something beautiful behind. And so maybe the question is not if we can afford not to act, but rather, what will future generations inherit if we do not? What kind of world are we placing into the hands of children we may never meet? Will they know glaciers or only through photographs? Will they recognize the ocean as a wonder, or will it become a warning? Will they know trees or only hear stories about them? And if one day they ask what we did when the earth began asking for help, what will we say? That we were too busy, too divided, too afraid to inconvenience ourselves? Or will they say they chose collaboration over ego? They chose responsibility over denial. They chose courage before it was too late, because sustainability is not only about protecting the planet, it is about protecting humanity from becoming so disconnected from life that we forget we are a part of it. And maybe that is where hope begins. In understanding that the future is still listening, in scientists and storytellers speaking to one another, in policy learning the language of humanity, in communities remembering that survival has always been collective, in businesses choosing stewardship over extraction. And maybe that is where hope begins. The moment we stop asking who should act first and remember that history will remember all of us together. Because one day, long after we are all gone, someone would stand beneath this same sun. And our hope is they still recognize it as light. Because if human choices helped create many of the crises we face today, then human choices can also help repair them. That is the miracle hidden inside responsibility. It means that the future is still movable. Hope is not denial of difficulty. Hope is the decision that difficulty will not have the final word. Hope is infrastructure. Hope is the reason rooms like this still exist, and maybe that is what winning together means. And so here within these walls, let's declare continuity and commitment as allies, and while we deliberate on building the things that will outlive us, let us not neglect the things that will help us live. so that one day someone can look back at this era and say, despite everything, they still chose one another. And oh, that choice changed the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Alhan Islam, for such a beautiful reminder that finance, law, and medicine, of course, there's noble professions to sustain our life, but culture, art, love, and poetry, this is what we are indeed living for. Excellencies, colleagues, and friends, we are, unfortunately, at reaching the ending of our conference. On behalf of the organizers, I want to extend our deepest gratitude to our initiators, to our partners, speakers, volunteers, and the incredible hospitality staff for your energy and commitment. In Kazakh culture, where I'm from, we have a saying that guests makes you happy twice. First time when they arrive, and second time when they leave. But truly, it has been a very joyful and insightful evening. I would now like to invite you to join us for dinner. Please, enjoy the evening. The stage is yours for photos, and do not forget to tag us at the social medias. Hamburg Sustainability Conference 2026 is officially closed. Thank you.